This is problem number 11 from the June 2014 Algebra Regents exam. What we need to do is find the correlation coefficient of the data in this graph to the nearest hundredth. Now, there are a couple different ways we could approach this, but probably the easiest one is to kind of use some logic here. We notice that the pattern that this is forming is that it's moving in a downwards direction, right? That means the correlation coefficient is going to be negative. A positive correlation coefficient means that the data goes in an upwards pattern. So we can ignore option number 1 and option number 2 because those are both positive. Now looking at the other two options we have here, note that option number 4 is exactly negative 1. Now when we have a correlation coefficient that is exactly negative 1, that means the points form a perfectly straight line. If the correlation coefficient was positive 1, it would form a perfectly straight line moving upwards. But we can see from the data here, these points, that it's not a straight line. It kind of jumps around a little bit. So that means it has to be option number 3. Now I just want to tell you another way you could have gotten this answer, although this would have been a little bit more time consuming. Using your graphing calculator, we could have inputted these points here. For example, the first point is 1, 8, and then there's 2, 8, 3, 5, and so on. And if you were to complete that, you could use the feature in your calculator where you press stat, calc, and then check the linear regression equation, and then it would actually give you the correlation coefficient, the R value, to be negative 0.93. That would just be a little bit more time consuming, but I just wanted you to know that you could also figure it out that way. Alright, and that's all for this video. Thanks for visiting JD's Regents Preparation.